Certainly. Here's a more detailed account of the case of Sandra Melgar and the events surrounding it. Sandra Melgar and her husband, Enrique Melgar, were married for over 30 years and were known to be active in their church community in Houston, Texas. They seemed to have a stable life together, but like many couples, they had their personal issues. The incident. On to 1. December 19th, 2012. Police were called to their home in the aftermath of a tragic event. Enrique was found dead inside the house, having been brutally murdered. He was discovered in the living room, with signs that he had been tied up and stabbed multiple times. Investigation. The investigation quickly focused on Sandra. Key points during the investigation included inconsistencies. Police noted inconsistencies in Sandra's statements during initial questioning. Behavior. Sandra's behavior was also scrutinized. Some officers interpreted her emotional state as suspicious. Evidence. The forensic evidence collected at the scene led authorities to believe that Sandra was involved in Enrique's death. Trial. Sandra was arrested and charged with the murder of her husband. The trial commenced in 2014, and several critical pieces of evidence were presented. Circumstantial evidence. The prosecution built their case largely on circumstantial evidence, including testimony regarding their relationship dynamics and Sandra's actions leading up to and immediately after the murder. Lack of concrete evidence. One of the major criticisms of the case was the lack of concrete evidence directly linking Sandra to the murder, such as DNA or direct witness accounts. Conviction. Despite the lack of direct evidence, the jury found Sandra guilty of murder, and she was sentenced to 27 years in prison appeals and post-conviction. Sandra maintained her innocence throughout the trial and her imprisonment. Over the years, her legal team gathered new evidence and witnesses that supported her claims. Some of these included inconsistencies in eyewitness testimonies, questions about the reliability of the forensic evidence, new evidence that suggested an alternative theory of the murder. In 2021, after extensive legal efforts and new findings, the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals reversed Sandra's conviction on the grounds of inadequate counsel and compelling evidence that suggested an unreliable investigation. Release and aftermath. Sandra Melgar was released from prison in 2021. More than 8 years after her conviction, the case has since sparked discussions about wrongful convictions, the importance of fair legal representation, and systemic issues within the criminal justice system. The case highlights not only the individual struggle of Sandra Melgar, but also broader issues such as the potential pitfalls in the judicial process and the challenges faced by those trying to prove their innocence. Media attention. The case drew significant media attention and has been discussed in various forums, including documentaries and podcasts focusing on true crime and judicial fairness.